1 minute.
You got a minute.
1 minute.
Everybody good? You having a good time?
Busy.
Over.
Too busy. I know. I don't think it hasn't even started yet. We haven't gone on one vacation yet. Not for summer. It is hot. It is hot.
How are you, Hillary? You been busy, dear?
Oh my gosh, I'm in August burnout.
Yeah.
I made a poor decision to have both my kids in August. Right before back to school and football season
So
started.
birthday parties and
Yes, we spent all weekend at Grand Bear Lodge with a bunch of kids.
The water park? How is it? 'Cause they had a fire there not too long ago. I haven't been back since.
It was really nice.
It was good? It was good years ago. All right, I got 6 p.m. Is everybody ready? Oh, where'd Matt go? We lost one. What's that? Okay, we'll wait another minute.
I'm in August fog right now. So, can't wait for
kind of the
September.
same way.
You ready, Mac?
But you're not, are you?
I'd like to call the Oglesby City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Here.
Cullinan.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Moyle.
Here.
Curran.
Here, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Number 4, public comment on agenda items only. Please. You have to push it towards yourself. Pull the little button. You gotta pull it towards yourself.
Thank you.
Thank
My name is Pat Flecker, and I reside at 217A Oakwood Avenue. And I'm here in regards to the ordinance that's going to be, I think, placed on file tonight for consideration. And a couple of things from the last meeting. Jason, I think you had requested some information on how many gallons it would use, and I think I had given that to Commissioner McDermott. You should have that. And keep in mind, that's the contractor's best estimate, and obviously that's going to change depending upon the weather conditions. And then I also provided you with a listing of the cities where TCI, that's the contractor I'm working with, has installed dual meters, and that list is fairly long. So I've given that to you for your consideration as well. And then I think at the last meeting, Commissioner Cohen, you had a comment about not getting a sewer charge.
Yeah.
Please keep in mind that that is not going into the sewer.
Yes.
So it's just a way to bypass that. And then Becky did provide me with a copy of the ordinance that I think you guys are going to review tonight. And I'd like to consider one change, and I don't know if I can do that, but I'd like to suggest it. And it's where it talks about the repeal, if the city decides to repeal allowing dual metering, that applies to
Retroactively.
everybody. And I guess my concern is, when you put in an irrigation system, it's a pretty significant investment of dollars. So I'm asking perhaps for you to consider maybe grandfathering those that have already been installed.
Understandable, bit.
So, questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comment? Okay. Being none, we'll move on. Number 5, approve minutes from the August 4th, 7th, and 11th, 2025 regular sessions. If there's no changes, modifications, or additions, can I get a motion to approve those 3 sets of minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
And Moyle.
Aye.
Curran. Sorry about that.
Aye.
Yeah.
Number 6, approve bills presented for payment in the amount of $738,804.61. If there's no additions, corrections, or modifications, can I get a motion to approve the bills?
I move that we approve the bills presented for payment in the amount of $738,804.61.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle. Aye. Curran.
Aye. Number 7, approve payroll for August 15th, 2025 in the amount of $84,709.20. If there's no additions, corrections, or modifications, can I get a motion to approve the payroll?
I move we approve payroll for August 15th, 2025 in the amount of $84,709.20.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle. Aye. Curran.
Aye. Number 8, old business. A, approve the purchase of a VFD pump for well number 3 for $60,649.09 less $20,286.63 grant from the IMEA. McDermott.
Okay, we discussed this at the last meeting. It's self-explanatory. And got some good news. We have a $20,286.63 grant from the IMEA that came from the electric department. That's good. That's where working together makes schools be better. Rich, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, we received a grant from the IMEA. I have a letter here, notice to proceed. It says, thanks for submitting a pre-application for an overseas IMEA Electrical Efficiency Program incentive for VSD pump at well pump number 3 on the West 3rd Street in Oglesby. Attached is a notice to proceed along with the pre-application for this project. We have set aside $20,286.63 to pay the incentive on the project when it is completed as it is described in your pre-application. I would like to thank our electric superintendent for keeping on his toes here and paying attention to this and getting us this grant.
I'd like to thank him as well. I'm looking for the approved to a purchase of the variable speed drive pump for well number 3.
Second.
Let's, hold on. We got to go around the room. Everybody
Okay.
get opportunity to
I
speak.
didn't think
Anything
there was
you'd like to
anything to
talk
discuss.
No, I think it's great that we managed to get a $20,000 grant for it. I don't know if we appropriated the full 60 for it. I'm assuming we probably did, and this 20 is just shaved off of that, so that's really great. So, yeah, kudos to the people who put in the work behind the scenes. Very pleased.
Hillary?
Nothing to add. I have the same sentiments as Austin.
Okay. When you say it's the efficiency program, I think that's the one that we used to use for all the lighting around the city. My understanding was there was all these different type of grant opportunities that you could use the money for. There is some weird ones in there, like refrigeration, and one of them, believe it or not, is variable speed pump thing. It's basically where you can improve your efficiency to save money. It's funds that we kind of already have, but it's however we want to be able to utilize them through different programs. Is that pretty accurate?
It is.
It's
Okay.
pretty accurate.
Anybody have anything else? Do you want to stand with the motion you already made?
I
with
stand
that?
with the motion. I believe it was seconded by
We have
Rich.
a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle. Aye. Curran.
Aye. B, board appointments, Curran. So we still have, there's 5 positions available. There's 2 of them that we'll still have available tonight. We'll need somebody for design and review board and 1 for ambulance. But I would like to nominate the following individuals. Billy Walters as a reappointment to the park board, Mimi Borio to the ambulance board, and Becky Kleinert to the zoning board. Is there anybody like to go around the room? Any comments at all? Colin?
I think they're all good selections.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Hillary?
I'm happy with all of them, and thanks to everybody who's willing to volunteer.
Mac?
I'm happy with them, and a special thanks to Becky to stay involved.
Aldridge?
I have nothing.
Can I get a motion for those appointments?
I'll make a motion that we approve those appointments.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
Aye.
McDermott. Moyle. Aye. Curran.
Aye. C, ordinance number 1295-081825, which sets the wages and benefits for 2 full-time paramedics. Moyle.
So we talked about this last time in closed session, but after I reviewed it, I think we need to make some slight alterations, so I would like to table it, and we can reach out to Pat and give him some more direction on how to handle that. So,
No problem, Hillary.
Okay. Anybody have any concerns with that?
Thank you, Hillary. That's
I'll second it.
good.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to table
And a
it.
second?
Okay.
Roll call.
Give me a second.
Table.
That's good. Thanks.
Baldridge.
Aye.
Cullinan.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Moyle. Aye. Curran.
Aye. D, place on file number Ordinance number 1296-090225, dual metering ordinance. I assume that's attributed to you, so we'll give you an
Yeah,
opportunity.
Pat was just up here, explained everything. We talked about it at the last meeting. I think it's something that'll improve the city. It beautifies the city. I think it's a good thing all the way around. I would like to make a motion to place
We
on.
gotta give everybody an opportunity to speak on
I understand.
it. Okay. Rich?
I'm grateful for her to even put forth the effort, and I'm happy that we could oblige.
Okay. Austin?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the grandfather language, I don't know. I don't really see. I figure if it's probably going to be an issue for whatever reason, I don't know. I think, Pat, you said Peru doesn't do it anymore, but they at one point did do it.
That's
People
what
were
I was
grandfathered
told.
into it.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I guess I'd be curious to see why they felt the need to move away from it. But I can't imagine that if there was any sort of a major issue that, you know, we wouldn't be able to address it before it becomes too big of an issue. I don't even,
I would tend to agree,
Yeah.
Austin. I didn't know we were gonna have an ordinance on file tonight.
Yeah.
But I scrambled to get something ready for you to consider based upon my limited
which we
understanding
appreciate.
of what we talked about.
Yeah.
So feel free to make any suggested changes, but
Sure.
I think it kind of accomplishes what you want.
Yeah,
And the grandfathered language could easily be taken out if you
sure.
want.
I do have a question. It references the Public Works Director, and
And I wondered if that was the right title, Hillary.
yeah, that's what I was curious, is maybe we need to revise that.
Do you have a
because
water superintendent or something, or?
Not
what-
No.
officially.
Who would we want
We have
to,
tests.
to review the applications and go check out the person's basement or crawl
Yeah.
space or whatever to determine?
So that would be usually the inspector, the plumbing inspector.
Plumbing inspector?
Plumbing
Okay.
inspector?
I will change
Thank
all
you.
the references then, Hillary, to the plumbing inspector.
Okay.
And you guys have to decide whether you want me to leave the retroactive nature in there or not in, if it's repealed.
Well, I think
So-
it'd really be a good thing to grandfather the people in.
Okay.
So normally, the question I was gonna ask before that item came up was, I think we can place things
Mhm.
on file and then modify them later before
You
final
can.
adoption.
You can.
But if we have a couple things to consider, such as, we have to change some wording in there from superintendent to plumbing inspector, we wanna think
Okay.
about do we wanna table it and consider those items, or do we wanna place it on file and just modify those multiple items?
What do you?
We can certainly place it on file and modify it, but then somebody just needs to get me the modifications before the next meeting.
What do you guys think?
I think we place it on file.
You
Yep.
wanna place it on, is that the consensus?
I think that
do
we're
that.
probably all in agreement. We do want this to move forward.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I think that makes sense to place it on file and then continue with modification.
My only fear of that would be if we place it on file and then we're making multiple modifications to it before final adoption and people
Mhm.
can
I don't,
see it.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna make that many though. I mean,
Okay.
there's two
Yeah.
things that we pointed out.
Well,
And
that's
it's
all
not
there is.
particularly long either.
Unless you want to head in a different direction, then I could go make those two changes and circulate it to everybody and see if anybody has any other comments on it.
I think let's just place it on file. I think that's probably the best move.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Alright.
wait for
Okay, I'd
instructions
like to
then.
make a motion that we place on file ordinance number 1296-090225 with the alterations to be completed by Pat. Dual metering ordinance.
Second.
Roll
Thank
call,
you.
please.
Real quickly, we haven't specified any alteration. I mean, I guess we've talked about two things that need to be changed, but whatever.
Well, technically,
I-
that's,
it-
you make
That's-
actually a good point there, I'll clarify.
Okay.
We really can't place it on file with the alterations because the alterations don't exist right now. So you can place it on file as is and then
Pat will make the alterations.
alterations later.
Yeah. Personally, I think you just ought to table it and let us make the alterations. This is not something that has to be placed on file,
Oh,
Okay.
this ordinance.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a contract with anybody, so we can table it, discuss changes. I can polish it up any way you want. We
Okay.
can present it at the next meeting.
Okay, so if it's,
So, Mac, if it's okay with you, do you want to
No.
change your motion to table it for now? Until the next meeting?
Okay, I'll do this. I'll make a motion to table the file ordinance number 1296-090225, dual meeting ordinance with the intent of having it on the next agenda.
I will
How's that?
second Mac's motion to table ordinance number 1296-090225.
And clarify what you said.
Will you withdraw your second to, okay, thank you.
Pat, just to clarify what you said, so in other words, if everybody's good with it in the next one, we don't have to place on file and adopt, we could just adopt it
You
outright.
could just
the next one.
adopt it at the next meeting.
Okay, we got a
That's
motion
what the
and a
man
second
said.
to,
Table.
Got a roll call, please?
Aldridge,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
McDermott,
Aye.
Moyle,
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. E, events. So we had, the city's got two new assistant event coordinators to kind of help things out, and we have talked a little bit about how we want to do events going forward. The event coordinators have come up with a relatively long list of suggestions.
Is the meeting or something?
I'm sorry,
Pat,
excuse
do you
me?
recall drafting an ordinance for a couple of administrative assistants a few months back?
I did.
Okay, I'm just confused as to where we got these event coordinators at.
Okay.
It's really hard to hear you if you don't talk into your mic.
Are you able to hear me?
Very hard.
All right.
Well, I know maybe the speakers aren't up high enough in here. I don't know if that's something we gotta look at in the
I'm
future.
not sure how the speakers work in here. but-
Okay, we'll look at that. Sorry if you can't hear me. So, a while ago, we have some administrative assistants that double as administrative assistant event coordinators to take some of the load off of the event coordinator, which is the city clerk. So they came up with a whole bunch of events, but what we need to do is we need to kind of approve which ones we want them to pursue. So I sent something out to the council. I don't know if I have a big list here. I don't know if we want to go through them one by one. I didn't get any feedback on that yet.
Do we really have to approve these things? From my understanding, this is the way that it's worked since these two have been employed with us, is that I know officially the clerk in her job, and the ordinance authorizing her employment is the lead event planner, but that work has been delegated and overseen by the clerk. And I just don't know if specifying what events we're gonna do, I mean, it's great for the council to have input, but I don't really know if it's something that has to come to a full meeting of the council for us to decide as a whole. It just seems kind of unnecessary.
So most of that is mostly correct. The final decision of how the events are going to be run is by the city clerk. However, it doesn't necessarily set a budget for them. For example, some of these events in here that suggested are a couple $1,000s each.
What was the
So-
budget for the last Summer Fun Fest?
I don't know offhand what
Who
it was.
approved it? Did anyone approve the budget for the last Summer Fun Fest? 'Cause you just got done saying that you thought the council should be responsible for approving the budget, but yet we have never approved the budget for an event, to my knowledge.
You don't think that we approve how
I
much
do
the Fun
not
Fest
think-
is?
I never knew what it was until the last meeting.
Well, I think a lot of Fun Fest's expenses though are piecemeal. They're not necessarily all one thing, so. As far as our expenses were concerned, I can't tell you what was budgeted necessarily, but the expenses of this previous Fun Fest were $110,000.
Okay, with that being said, is anybody, Pat, himself, yourself included, is anybody understand what staggering is? Pat?
I don't know what you're talking about, Rich.
Staggering. It's when you take a limit of $20,000. This is my interpretation of it, I guess. When you take like a limit we have of $20,000, and you stagger something that would be like $100,000 value, you stagger it and implement it in certain increments so that you could obtain $120,000, but you're only allowed to do $20,000. I believe it's illegal.
I
to
would think
stagger.
it would be,
It
yeah.
would be illegal.
I mean, if you're trying
So,
to,
when we're spending $120,000 on a summer fun fest and the council is not making an approval, I believe it is called staggering, and I believe it is illegal. So I just, as we're discussing events.
Okay.
Well, if it's all
I've
separate.
never
it's-
heard a budget discussed for
Yeah.
Fun Fest myself.
No.
Yeah.
Becky's got something to say.
We do appropriate money for that. It's included in the appropriation each year. And I believe that we stay below that amount. I don't think we've gone over what the appropriation was. And likewise, we do the same thing with events. We appropriate, different amounts of money for fall events and summer events. That was all included in the appropriations that you approved in July.
Well, so for example, there's 27 events here listed. and some of them, some of them I think are fantastic, some are maybe a little too costly, some I don't know what we want to do here. I don't know if, I feel like what we approved wasn't necessarily the council saying that you can just do whatever events they want to do. That was my understanding of
Well,
that.
appropriations generally aren't spend all this money that we're giving you. I mean, you're generally, that's maximum what you're authorized, what you have
Right.
authorization to spend. So I really think that this is something that is just best left to the people who are actually doing the events, and obviously some consultation with the council would be great, which I think is happening.
It is happening.
But I just don't really know if this is something that we have to discuss. I think it's a decision that's best delegated to them, so.
What is the objective to adding more events? Like, what are you trying to gain from? Because we have great events. I counted them. We have 17 between all our departments, and they don't all originate from this office. So, what is your goal?
The goal is to increase more economic opportunity in the city by having more smaller, more regular events.
What do you, what have you determined that has brought this economic opportunities, or what do you have any hard data or anything?
What data do you have? I mean, I don't know what you're,
I'm
I don't
not
know what you're asking.
suggesting this.
I don't know what
I'm
you're
asking what your results are from this. We've invested a lot of money in this economic opportunity. I'm asking, what have we gained?
I think it brings people to the
Do you think
downtown.
we gained, what have we gained?
Well, what do
Not
we-
an assumption. I live downtown, Jason. I've lived
Right.
there longer than you've lived in the city, or about double that time. And I don't understand where this economic development and all that you're stating is coming from, because I don't see it. I see a night of a party. I see $100 and something thousand investments. I see other opportunities where we're spending $20,000. I don't see much more economic opportunity after that night of the party.
Are you talking about Fun Fest when you say $100,000?
Yeah.
Are you saying there's an issue with having Fun Fest? I don't
You
understand what you're
said,
asking.
no, I think you're trying to spin this.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm asking, what do
When you
you?
were initially speaking, you said something to the effect that the council approved all these events, and we don't. We really don't know any of these events until it's placed out there. I don't know what behind the scenes are of making up of these events.
We haven't approved Boots and Brews, the old car show that we used to do all of those that we approved.
What have we approved with them?
What's that?
What are we approving? Just the
The
name?
events that those are the
A
ones that we
name.
would pursue.
We're approving a name. Because we have no details, I've never seen anything.
There is details in there.
Where?
The email that went out to everybody, for example, they recommended that they thought the back-to-school beach party would have a complexity level of 4 on a 1 to 5 scale, cost $2,000. Board game
That was
night.
before the event?
No, this event doesn't exist yet.
Well,
What are you
Okay.
asking?
I'm asking when the council has approved these, besides the budget or whatever that is, the appropriations, when have we been included in any of the details or been asked if we would have agreed to spend $120,000 or anything like that and shown what we're
I
doing?
think that's kind of what Jason's advocating for right now by discussing this at the council level, but I don't think this is a council level thing to discuss. If the money's appropriated, I think we just delegate that decision to the people who are actually tasked with planning and carrying out events. As far as economic development is concerned, I also think, that's certain events, I think that's good framing, but I don't necessarily think every event, I think it's actually kind of bad framing to say every event has to be about economic development. Even if an event doesn't necessarily make the city money, as long as the event isn't bleeding the city dry, I think an event can still be a good thing. Because you're increasing the quality of life in the community, and you're providing amenities for citizens. And so I totally agree. We shouldn't be breaking the bank on any event, but I don't necessarily agree with framing or with kind of expecting every event to be, bringing money into town
Austin,
necessarily.
I agree, we should
Yeah.
benefit the city, but I gotta admit, I understand events are nice, but our infrastructure is in bad shape, and
I
we're
would agree
currently
with
trying
you.
to do a wastewater treatment plant, and I got roads and streets that need to be redone.
Mhm.
We have equipment that we need, even the ambulance,
Yeah,
the police.
but
We
I
don't
will
wanna go,
say.
we don't wanna go to the extreme.
Every dollar counts, of course, but $1,000 to host an event, or a few $100s for that matter to host an event, or some of these are $0 to host an event. If you reach out to different whatever, You know, it's really, at the end of the day, within $18 million budget, you know, a few $100 here, $1,000 there, just so, you know, kids and people who live in your town can have a good time. It's a drop in the bucket. so-
$1,000 here, 2,000 here,
Oh.
3,000 here, eventually will add up.
Well, yeah.
And
Well,
we
I'm
need-
not advocating to have 100 more events though. So.
Let
More than
me,
17.
I do have a
Let's go.
question.
Well,
Please
go
go ahead.
ahead.
This wasn't ever asked before,
No.
and
It kind of was, and I can show emails of where it was with the
Well, I
council.
would love to see those.
Okay,
but
I'll
my
make sure I
question
get
is,
those.
now that we have 2 administrative assistants, we were under the impression that we were hiring the administrative assistants to replace the one full-time or part-time person that left,
Right.
not to exceed that person's hours, correct?
Yeah, but
Is that why we're trying to create more events? Because now we have 2 that we
No,
could,
I would say-
okay.
No, so in the past, what we've done, there would be like an email that would go out and say, what do people agree with on what? And this is what happened like last year, all right? It would go out,
One email.
okay,
Remember the argument we had?
okay. Emails would go out and it would talk about what people wanted to do if they had an input or something like that. And then input was given to the city clerk. And the city clerk would take that input from there and then would run with it. Had the full authority to do what they want to do with all of the events. So that's the first thing. So the council did have input into what they wanted to give direction with. The reason I say this is there's 27 events on here. If the council has no direction with that, does that mean there's 27 new events that get added to the lineup? I think that's probably too much. Some of them I think don't have the value that's there. Now, you're right. Not everything necessarily has a dollar for dollar economic development opportunity in the city. However, I do think when we have small events, especially small events, they increase the quality of life, which makes people want to live here. They want to raise their children. They want to have that. That has an indirect effect. It's very hard to pin an actual dollar amount of value to that, though.
I might have mistaken what you said, but I don't think having 27 events on here will necessarily be a message to the people who plan and facilitate the events that we're fine with all 27. I ultimately think the kind of oversight or the check and balance on that is the city clerk, who is tasked with overseeing event planning, event coordination, and so I would expect any city clerk to, you know, say, hey guys, you know, we're not going to do 27 events. I think that's I think that's only I think a reasonable city clerk would do
I
that.
think quality of life
so-
would be having good water.
Let me boil it down.
And I
to-
don't think any of our
Sorry.
administrative assistants are going to try and schedule 27 events.
Let me
We
boil
have
it
the
down to a
events.
simpler question then. Does the council want to have input into what we think events should be done in the city? If the answer is no, then that's fine.
I think the council was elected to have input in events and
Okay.
any other items that are
I-
happening within the city.
I agree.
I think, but it's considering, to what extent should it be though? Because I think sitting here and discussing this is kind of fruitless. I really think what it should be is, like kind of what you had said, I don't know how it worked before, but you know, the people in City Hall or our employees in City Hall can send out an email saying, is there anything that you'd be interested in seeing? You know, what do you think of what we have now? And then we send an email. I don't think it has to be an item that we discuss at a council meeting.
Well, I agree that we don't need to get into details. Like, for example, if you look at the notes, I think as long as we give them the rein to tell them which ones we want them to pursue. Like, for example here, Taste of Oglesby, right? They have here, where were you thinking to put it? Rupert, Stammers, Salsas, Cordelinos, Claros, Claudettes, Scarzanelli's, Two Brothers, Blue Margaret. Again, this would be something that would take coordination with
list.
businesses. We could still probably pull this off maybe beginning October. I don't think we need to get into those levels of details.
I mean, I don't think it has to be any more complicated than us saying, hey, this event might be a good idea, or, yeah, I like what we're doing here, but I like what we're doing with Boots, Brews, and Barbecue, but I think we could change this about it. I think that can all be done in an email, and I don't think it's something that has to happen.
Well, didn't we
here.
before have issues that people would go into the clerk's office and change and say, no, I don't like this, I want
Sure
you to
did.
do that? And that's
Sure
one of the reasons why we gave it to the clerk's
Well,
office.
that's why I'm
wasn't it?
asking it right now, so I agree with what you just said. That
Yeah, you
you're right,
agreed what
the
he
council
said,
should
but
give
you
that
heard what I
input.
said.
Hold on.
Come
So
on.
when does the council give that input? Because this is what I'm asking right now. When do you want that council to give that input?
Well, is the
Once a year?
council allowed to
We've-
give the input? Is it a consensus, or is it going to be one individual who happens to be a little bit more outspoken?
But
And just
didn't
goes
we,
in there and demands his way?
How do you want to do it then?
I'm not the one
I thought-
pushing this agenda.
Isn't there somebody that demanded to have,
Demanded?
events down at Lehigh
Careful
Park.
with your words, Jason. Now that is
Well, what-
absolutely
Did the council,
ridiculous.
did the
Okay.
council approve the
Now, what I'm
concerts
getting
going
Wait,
on?
at-
we're gonna
wait a minute.
argue about that, then we're gonna say the cops can't do their first responder night, because that
Yeah.
wasn't in front of the council. Like, I feel like that's ridiculous.
I motion that we close discussion on this topic.
All right, there's a motion to close discussion. Is there a second? Not a second, okay. So I just want to know how the council wants to do this going forward. I've
I
heard that
believe-
council, hold on. The
I'll
council
see you,
wants
not
to give
what-
input into events. I'm asking, this is the opportunity to give input into those events. How do you want to do that? Please, anybody.
Well, I believe when we first did this, we had an issue of people going in there and telling what they wanted and how they wanted it done and everything else. So we gave it to the clerk's office, gave it to the clerk to oversee it. We didn't have full authority to tell them what to do and what not to do. That's part of the problem we had before. Are we changing that now or what?
Well, that's what I'm asking. What do you seem to contradict yourself there. What do you prefer to have?
What I'm saying is, what we did before, is there an issue with that? Remember, we had problems with people going in the clerk's office telling them to change it, wanted to do this, wanted to do that, and others would go in there and say totally the opposite.
And that's what I'm
That's
asking.
the
How do
issue
you-
we had before.
So how do you get that consensus of what the council is to the people doing the events?
I
How do you
thought,
wanna do
I
that?
thought we gave that to the clerk.
I don't think you're
Yes or
answering.
no? Did we?
You-
I'm asking. I thought we did.
That doesn't give the consensus of the council to the, that's what I'm asking you. How do you want to give that consensus to the council? Consensus of the council to the clerk who's running it. How do you want to do that?
I believe it's attributed to Curran, so I guess go ahead and explain to the council how you suggest that we move ahead here with this.
I suggest that when the email goes out and says there's a bunch of events, which ones are you interested in them pursuing, that you respond to it. But if you don't respond to it, then we take care of it here at the council.
I'm not interested in adding any of them,
You want
to be
any?
honest.
Okay.
I mean, we already have 17 in the city.
So you.
Not necessarily all from the clerk's office,
Okay.
but you gotta keep in mind, they set up events, but they don't set
Right.
it up and clean up and take care of the yard. It's a whole city thing for some of these events.
And you're talking 17.
So
that's-
your input is to not create any of these 27.
I think we should focus on what we have.
What we have is good, not the new ones.
Yes, and
Okay.
I think that we also probably, I mean, I see what you say with the eats in the streets, but is anyone making an effort to reach out to some of these businesses and are not directly in front of Seneca Square when they're doing these things and asking them how we can support them better as a city?
That was another one of them here. I can't remember which one that was. Chain food truck for the day or something like that they had down there.
I mean,
Okay.
that's all I have.
So, okay, got your input. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but it is your input, so that's great. Anybody else have a different input?
I agree with Commissioner Moyle.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
sounded good to me. I
so the
think
direction
that
we're
was
gonna
cool.
give, so that's two people, so the direction we're gonna give to the assistant event coordinators is not to create any of these new ones, just maintain the ones we currently have,
Mhm.
okay? Anybody else on that?
Well, if you want to make that motion.
The only
Maria, I'll
thing
second.
no
I
motion
will,
that
the
you-
only thing I will say is,
We could.
to summarize my
Yeah.
thoughts on this, I don't have an issue with adding more events. But I just, again, I don't think this is the right time or place for this, but I do wanna, I didn't ask them to put this list together, of course, but I do wanna thank them for taking the time and the effort, to put this list together, so that's all I have.
One other thing, just for clarity, you said that $100 and some odd thousand dollars were appropriated, and that was the approval to pass and utilize that cash flow for the Summer Fun Fest. Would that pertain to every department then? If there's money appropriated to that department, they could spend the money allotted without any more council approval because it's in the appropriations? I
Are
don't
you
know.
asking about like split transactions, splitting it into
I'm asking if there's
it being under
$120,000
$20,000?
that's appropriated to the Summer Fun Fest and it's able to be utilized without any more approval or anything like that, is any other department capable of doing the exact same thing with the money allotted in their appropriations?
You're talking
I
about.
would probably say up to $20,000 you can, for what you
Seems to
have.
contradict, doesn't it?
We're
So,
asking-
I mean, I don't know,
Mm.
Pat, I mean, it's a $110,000 event, are we going to approve every single purchase that we make? Was that, you think
Doesn't
that's
seem-
advisable?
Doesn't seem practical.
It
to
doesn't
me.
seem
You
practical to
approve
me.
the bills,
Right.
you know, as they come in along the way
Yeah.
for that event. Becky, you got something to add?
Please.
Rich, I understand your concern, but Summer Fun Fest,
I'm not
it
against it.
pays
I'm not
for
against it
itself.
at all, but
It's established.
And it's established, and it has, quite a healthy balance. We may be spending $110,000, but we did make 15,000.
was that including the money that came from the hotel motel that was deposited into that account?
It did, and which is a great
Was
use for hotel motel
$15,000,
tax.
So then that was the profit.
I'm not
just
sure
trying
why
to
you
guess.
use Summer Fun Fest as the example. That's
Well,
probably
that's
our
our biggest
longest.
expense.
Well, it's the biggest, but it's also the most established and I'd say almost well-refined event that we have, right? A lot of our other ones are significantly newer. They're not nearly as refined. And then if we're gonna create new ones in addition to that, that's where I'm looking for the feedback. So the feedback I'm getting 2 people that doesn't wanna create any new ones. I get one that says he's not opposed to creating new ones, but this isn't the venue to talk about it. So the question is, what is the venue to talk about it, and how do we create any new ones if that does come up in the future?
To be fair, I don't think the consensus is my opinion, so I just think the consensus, it seems, is no more events, so, or no new events, rather.
Well, that was just 2 people. Mac, did you wanna weigh in on that? Do you wanna have, what's your thoughts on new events or not?
Well, if you're gonna do that, you get them done at the beginning, and if one's not making as well as you want it to, maybe change, then you do it then, but right now, we got the 17 there, and I don't know if we should change them.
So am I hearing basically from, and if that's the consensus, that's the consensus. If I'm hearing from 3 people that they don't wanna create any new events in the city, then that's the consensus, and that's all I'm asking for then.
Well, we got a lot of infrastructure
I don't know if we
to
need to
take
vote
care
on
of.
it, but I'm good with just a straw poll.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Okay?
Ready to move on.
Either
Any
way
other
you want it.
discussion on this item?
I think that's it.
Okay. F, update on We Are Oglesby Car Show, Curran. So with this one, we've actually already approved the closure of the street for the event, but it was brought to my attention, I guess there is a bit of a conflict when it came to the alcohol. So in the past, we had, these were 2 separate events. We had the car show event, which was where they would open up the streets and different establishments would be allowed to take alcohol onto the streets where it was open and stuff like that, and they would be able to go into Seneca Square. And then Boots Brews and Barbecue, we would have, the issue with that was, it was just the alcohol that was sold by the city in Seneca Square. So there's a bit of a conflict with what we have there. So I think what we came up with, the best idea was that blending both ideas, and that's just the update. So in other words, for the entire day that the car show is available and running and stuff like that, the streets are open. You can take alcohol from the establishments that are there. We'll send a letter to which one to let them know that. They could take them out into that area. However, once Boots Brews and Barbecue starts, that's where no outside alcohol can come into Seneca Square. Does that make sense? It seems
How do
like the
you
best-
how do you prove that a container of alcohol that somebody has
Yeah,
isn't
when
an
they
outside
bought it.
container of alcohol?
Well, that they don't bring it in. It doesn't
Okay.
get brought in.
Well, how do you know they didn't bring it in?
When you see them
First, third.
bring it in.
Oh, I mean, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
It's a new
I guess so.
scenario that's never happened before.
I'm sure people are gonna sneak in little
Yeah.
shots and that's.
They were
it's
probably
inevitable.
doing it before anyway.
Yeah,
They probably, well, I'm not trying to condone any of that,
No,
obviously.
but-
I'm just saying that in the past, I mean, I don't think, am I saying that we were there being, I don't wanna use an inappropriate word, are we hammering people basically for bringing alcohol in? I mean, if it was against the rules, we remind people and stuff like that. So I just wanna let everybody know that throughout the day, the event will be the same as it was before with, the car show event that we'll have. But then when Boots Brews and Barbecue start, you have to purchase the alcohol inside Seneca Square. Make sense? Anybody have any comments on that?
that sounds all right. I mean, what you're saying is when Boots Brew and Barbecue opens up, no alcohol being carried out of the bars.
And that's how it was in the past.
That's
which was
fine.
Before.
I
So
don't
it's-
think anybody'd have a problem with that.
Yep. And that's why there's nothing for us to approve, because technically we already approved the street closure.
You're a bar owner, you know.
Nobody has anything else?
Sounds good.
All right. Number 9, new business. A, approve travel expenses for IML Conference, September 18th to the 20th at a cost not to exceed $13,500 for 8 officials. We'll go around the room if anybody has any comments. Austin?
Do we have any idea what the cost for this was last year, roughly?
Probably very similar.
Similar. Okay. I think there's obviously value in it which is why I planned to attend, but I thought the number was 13,000 was just kind of, seemed like a lot, but if that's what's been the case before, no issue with it.
I think we're bringing one more official that we know, because we have a deputy chief now. We didn't have a deputy
Yeah.
chief in the past. So, any other comments?
No, I'm fine with it. If anyone wants to carpool, I'll carpool to save money, but
Yeah.
Mac?
Well, I'm fine with it, and I'm glad to see that Deputy Chief's gonna go too, to tell you the truth.
Rich?
I have no problems with it.
It's a great event. You know, I'll say every year we go to it, you know, you look at all the conferences and the items there, you expect to come out learning an incredible amount. You know, you end up taking a little bit away from as much as you can. So hopefully there'll be a lot of learning there, and because we got some new officials, we actually have 3 people that are new that are going up that's never gone there. So hopefully there'll be a lot of good stuff there. Okay, if there's nothing else, can I get a motion to approve the advanced travel?
I'll make a motion to approve the travel expense for the IML Conference, September 18th through the 20th, at the cost not to exceed $13,500, 8 officials.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge,
Aye.
Cullinan,
Aye.
McDermott,
Aye.
Moyle,
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. B, discuss need for additional storage for equipment and materials. McDermott.
Okay, we were talking about the Vector truck before and how we needed different storage for it year-round. The thing is, we got equipment in various areas, and we got buildings that are, they're falling down. That's basically the way to put it. We have material that also needs to be better taken care of. I just wanted to know what kind of direction the council's actually looking for as to building a new building. Do we want to get one that'll cover all, or do we want to just suffice? Well, we need this and this and this, and I'll look into seeing what we can find.
Go around the room. Rich?
I'm
You
not
understand
certain
what I'm
of what
saying?
we have appropriated for funds for any new buildings.
That's right.
We just now, I think, brought this to our attention, so I think it needs a lot more thought than just brainstorming tonight and coming up with a ballpark figure or even a building. I think we need a lot more detail on this.
Awesome.
My sentiments are the same as Rich's.
Well,
So this may be surprising. Today is my first day ever going into any of the public works buildings. So I stopped at the electric garage to see what they had. I don't know what their space capacity is. I stopped at the streets, but they were out. So Mac and I are going to go look at the streets tomorrow
We'll be
so I
there
can
tomorrow.
actually see what I'm a visual person.
Okay.
And then I guess I'm going to reach out to JP and take a tour of the parks garage too.
Just,
So heads up, JP.
just wear your boots, okay?
make sure you get an opportunity to take a look at the SALT building.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that
I will
came up,
take her
this has
there.
happened many, many years ago, and I didn't have the support to, our SALT building, and I haven't been in it, God, 4 or 5 years. The roof is, there's giant holes. Matter of fact, one of the things they do is they throw tarps over the salt to try to protect as much salt as they can from it getting washed away. And at the time, we looked into the idea of getting, not a Morton building, I can't remember what it was offhand, for another salt container. And then we looked at the opportunity that the street department building was not doing so well, so we thought about the idea of maybe turning that building into the salt storage and making a new street department building. Although it never got really pushed much further than that, because if I couldn't get $20,000 to build a salt temporary building, it was probably not gonna happen for a $100,000 building. But I do think it probably needs to be looked into, because at some point in time, I'm sure we're losing probably even more salt every year. Now granted, losing a few $1,000s of salt every year, is it really worth, $100,000 new building?
Well, over
Probably
time,
not.
that adds up.
But I do think that if you'd like to take a look at everything, come up with some suggestions and stuff like that, we probably do need to have a life cycle plan for some of these old buildings.
That's been option that's been discussed, to put the salt where the city street department shed is now, and building them another one for trucks and everything else. We also had the old fire department, that's got equipment in that as well. It needs to be updated, it's not doing so good itself.
Do we have old equipment that can be auctioned off that we can?
Well, we have old equipment, but we need it.
Okay.
And we can't, a lot of it we have to have. That's just like with the street sweeper. They weld old stop signs on the inside to keep it going.
Hmm.
Not a pretty sight, but it works.
Anything else you want to discuss on that?
No. I think I'll look it up, see what I can find.
After tomorrow, I'll have more opinions.
Oh, I'm
How about
sure
that?
You will. Once you see everything, you will.
Okay. Next item, C, recognition. Austin, do you want to?
Sure. So this is something that has been brought up before, and it's public knowledge. But today was our city clerk, Becky Kleiner's last day in her role as city clerk. And I've spoken on this before, but Becky, over the course of the last, she's been here 12 years, has been an absolutely indispensable asset to the city of Oglesby. From the time Becky came in as city clerk during, I believe it was the Finley administration is when she started, this city has seen a lot of change. And it's not necessarily all her doing. Of course, we had different council members over that period of time, but the thing that a lot of people might not realize is just the amount of work the clerk does in executing the will of the council. And it is much more than anybody on the council does. We delegate a lot to the city clerk. It is a very big responsibility. And in the interviews we had for city clerk, Jason said, and I agree with him, we probably have one of the most difficult city clerk jobs in the state of Illinois. And so the fact that Becky has served in the role as long as she has, but also in addition to that, came back and also did the job again because we needed a trusted hand in that office. It is very, very commendable and very, very deserving of all of our respect. And so, Becky, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your service to the city of Oglesby. And on behalf of the council, I have a gift or two to present to you. I was informed by somebody who works in your office that you're not one for plaques. So you did not get a plaque. I got you two practical gifts. And so the first I would like to present to you.
We're going to take a picture.
The first I would like to present to you. So Becky is going to.
She needs to step up there. So
Becky's going to stay on with the city, and sort of serving on city boards is my understanding. And so I got the council as a collective whole got Becky a gift that might help her in that capacity. So, Becky, if you want to step up here, I can.
Not really.
Okay. Maybe I'll walk over to that.
I like the spot.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
'cause nobody sees
You got the pillar in the way there, I guess. But what we got you is a leather folio. And it has your name right here. It has the City of Oglesby logo embossed on it, and it shows the dates of your 2 tenures that you served the City of Oglesby, both as clerk and economic developer. So that is the first thing I have for you. So that is your one practical gift related to city government. The second gift is more personal than professional. This, I know you're into quilting, so the council also got you a gift card to a quilting store, Duas or something like that. I don't know.
You sound like a good quilter.
I'm not a quilter. Some quilting, from what I've heard, some quilting store that's relatively popular among quilters from Kentucky or something like that. So that is, as a token of the council's gratitude, we ask you to, accept those gifts. So,
Thank you.
yes.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add? Hillary, anything?
Well, this was part of my commissioner report, but I can bring it up now. I want to congratulate Becky on her well-earned retirement. Her knowledge is irreplaceable, and I wanted to just thank you for everything you've done for the city of Oglesby.
Excellent. Mac?
Becky, I appreciate everything you've done. You quilt, huh? Quilt something that we can put on the wall. Maybe a Oglesby emblem or something?
Yeah, right.
Becky, you have been invaluable. You've really led us through. A lot of us have come in here very naive to what we were walking into, and I appreciate everything you've done and the knowledge that you have given to us and the guidance you've given to us, and I wish you well in your retirement. Thank you.
Excellent. Becky, I can't thank you enough. I'll always be so appreciative of how you came back to answer the call. The city had some financial needs to be rectified, to be accounted for and everything like that, and you're the most experienced person with that, and you came out of retirement to come back to help us. I'll always be appreciative of that. And also, you know, I know sometimes you've had a lot of different opinions on a lot of things, and to the city's benefit, those opinions and viewpoints have been such a great benefit. You've had such great ideas with the different, your Starved Rocket Venture starts here. That's just, I shouldn't even mention any of them because they diminish all the rest of them. There's so many great ideas that you've had, and I've really appreciated like your collaboration, like when we've had the economic incentive plans and things like that. I really believe that the city has benefited because of your input that you put in that. That was a unique skill that you brought to the table, and I'll always be appreciative of that. Thank you so much, and we wish you the absolute best in your retirement.
Thank you.
Next, number 10, public comment on any topic.
Well, to echo their comments, on behalf of the Plan Commission and me personally, thank you so much for everything you've done for us over the years. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
To continue with the Plan Commission, we have a meeting coming up on August 27th. Now, the Plan Commission has been charged with responsibility for updating the comprehensive plan. We've had 3 meetings already, where we've gone through the old plan, 2020 plan, and we have taken things out that no longer apply. We have added some new things, at least the Plan Commission has, but now it's time for public input. We've sent out a postcard to everybody in the city asking for your comments. But the comprehensive plan is supposed to be the guide for the council for the growth and development of the city, and it needs public input. So if you have any ideas at all about what the city should be doing, where we should be going, and we don't care how big the ideas are, how small they are, how stupid they might sound, bring them to us and we'll filter through them and get in there in the comprehensive plan what we feel and what the people feel is most important to guide the city for the next couple of years. So that meeting is at 6 o'clock. If you did get a postcard, you can pick up a survey here. We'll compile the results of the survey. You can also scan this, those of you that know how to do that. I personally don't, but this went out. Now there is a mistake on here, and that is the access to the survey with the computer. The address is wrong, right, Ben?
Yep.
And that will be corrected. So if you're trying to go online to access the survey, you can't get it there.
I'll update it on Facebook.
Yeah, right. So Becky will update the thing. So we're looking forward to that meeting on April 27th, 6 o'clock. We'd like a good turnout. We want your ideas. We don't need details. All we need is the idea. The details will follow. So that's August 27th at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment on any topic?
Please.
You do? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would.
Please.
You
You're doing it from there or there? Or?
Come
I
on.
like this spot.
Come on, let people see it for the first time. Please. Thank you. You're good. Thank you, Becky.
There's a button on the bottom
It's
that's got to
on.
be pulled towards you.
Yes,
It's on, Beck.
It's on. Thank you.
First of all, anybody knows me knows that this is not where I like to be, up front and center, and I am a behind the scenes kind of
Yeah.
person.
You know.
But Mac, 4 weeks ago, you asked me if I was leaving because I wanted to leave. Put me in a pretty awkward position. And I really couldn't answer you. But I've had some time to think about it.
Okay.
And I want you to know that I am retiring because I want to retire.
Okay.
Why I appreciate that you and the other commissioners have always had my back. With the current environment here, I wasn't willing to risk being on the wrong side of the majority. I'm not going to let anybody write my ending. This is my story here. So while I may be leaving a bit sooner than I'd hoped, good things await for me, and I look forward to spending more time with my family. I'd like to just thank some people. So Patty and Aaron, I hope I make it through this. My heartfelt thanks and appreciation for all you do every day. Sherry and Zoe, you make it easier to walk away knowing that you both possess the dedication and creativity necessary to continue the tradition of putting on great events. To my fellow city employees, working for City Hall or for the city is both a privilege and a burden. Where else do you report to 3,712 bosses? I came back after 4 years to a very different workforce. I've enjoyed getting to know you. Councils come and go every 4 years. Employees keep the city running day in and day out. Commissioners Baldridge and Mack, I thank you for the trust that you placed in me from the beginning. I have enjoyed working with you. Mack, there's no one with a greater love for Oglesby than you. You're a man of few words. Stop it. But you're wise enough to know what you don't know, and you defer to the professionals. And you are so appreciative of everyone who works with you. Rich, your roots run deep in Oglesby and it shows. You show up when there's work to be done and you do it. You don't ask for recognition, free lunches, or photo ops. You just do whatever needs to be done. You are truly the taxpayer's best advocate. You and I might not always agree, but you've never treated me as if my opinions don't matter. And we both know I have a lot of opinions. Hillary, while our time is short, it's clear that you're dedicated to doing what's best for the city. The sacrifices you make to be so involved do not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Commissioner Cullinan, anyone who knows our past would probably be surprised how well we work together. There are good things happening in the clerk's office that started with Commissioner Stefanelli and you've continued. You bring a knowledge and a knack for technology that office needs. I'm sad I'll miss out on all the changes. Not really.
Okay.
Mayor Curran, where do I even start? For 2 years, I've had a front row seat to the interaction between you and the commissioners. It's no secret between us that I believe the responsibility for this council's run rests squarely on your shoulders. I can appreciate that it's not easy to find a consensus among 4 commissioners who have strong personalities and different visions for the city. But good leaders find a way. As my story ends here, the way I wanted it to, I walk away knowing that I played a small role in making Oglesby better, and I worked with some great people along the way. Mayor Kidman, you're the guy. I ask each of you to consider how your own stories will end here. Will you forever be known as a council who can't get along? Are you willing to put past the grievances behind you, stop the personal attacks, the social media, the drama, and do the good work that the residents of Oglesby have entrusted to you? You have the ability to write your own ending as well. Please make it a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't need that.
All right, are there any other public comment on any topic?
Hey, and everybody got to see you. Good job, Becky.
Seeing there's none, move on. Number 11, Commissioner reports. Commissioner Cullinan.
Yeah, I don't have anything tonight. I do appreciate Ken coming up. I would have said something about that. I do appreciate Ken coming up and saying something about the Plan Commission meeting as well, or not as well, but saying it before I got to it. The one thing I do want to say about that is in the city of Oglesby, whether it's drama on the city council or it's drama that brews from residents, people say all the time that if you don't vote, you don't have the right to complain. Technically, you do. But with that being said, I'm not gonna. If you don't involve yourself in the process, your complaints carry a lot less weight, and so. That's bigger than just voting. It's participating in the whole democratic process, and part of that is coming to events like these, coming to meetings like these, and offering your input. Or if logistics kind of make that difficult, filling out your survey and sending it in, or scanning, if you can, your QR code and sending your survey in. Democracy is of the people, by the people. It doesn't work without the people. So that's the only thing I have to comment on tonight, rather. So.
Commissioner Moyle?
This is not part of my commissioner report, but Ken, is it going to be live streamed again? The plan commission meeting?
Usually is.
Okay. I probably won't.
That's not part of my technical ability.
Okay, okay.
We can take care of it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so September 27th is the annual Trifecta Charity Golf Outing hosted by Garzanelli's, Archway, and Smitty's. Proceeds benefit the Oglesby Police Shop with a Cop program and the Leonore Fire Department. You can register in town at Garzanelli's or Archway. August 5th was the first responder night, and thank you to all of the hard work that our police, fire, and ambulance did to make it a successful event. It was attended very well. 200 hot dogs were served, and my favorite's the bubbles still. I like the foam machine that were dyed
Pictures here.
blue.
Sorry,
Oh,
I was slacking.
there you go.
So there's that. I only put 5 in, but
You get the blue bubbles?
that include the dunk tank.
There you go. That works.
It was very cool that we had even more than just Oglesby here. We brought in other emergency services, so it was a really nice event. So thank you to everyone who had a hand in putting that together. This has nothing to do with my department, but I talk a lot of time about emergency response and everything like that. And I want to talk about the electric department and their response to our power outage. There is always complaints. No one likes a power outage. Everyone is complaining, especially when it's this hot. But it was 15 minutes. That is a really fast response time. From the moment that the power went out for them to go to the electric department, get their truck, their stuff, assess the problem, and fix it. Like, come on. That's pretty cool. So I did want to say thank you to them and how awesome and incredible that was. And then lastly, I want to recognize our We Are Oglesby Thaker first responder for the month of August, Derek Vici. For 29 years, Derek has put others first. He has obtained numerous certifications and continuously shown his commitment to the safety of our community. This month's We Are Oglesby Bucks gift card is sponsored by All in Finish and Paint. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you. Commissioner McDermott?
First of all, I'd like to thank Becky. Thanks for acknowledgement. Thanks for your service. Everybody, you got a chance to make Oglesby better. Please come to the Plan Commission on April 27th at 6 o'clock. Make sure your words are heard, okay? Like Hillary said, that was a great response on the electric department. I'd also like to thank, they're going to hate me for this, I'd like to thank the water and street department for their quick reaction on the water break on 2nd Street. And I appreciate everything they do. All right, that's
Commissioner
it.
Baldridge?
I'd also like to thank the electric department and let everyone know that last night's storm, we had several trees and lines down. They were on it very quickly. There was a lightning strike which took out a transformer and some other damage. They were able to repair it in just several hours here for one block on 3rd Street, and it was taken care of then. We'll address more of the items that we'll need there to keep in stock so that we can get to those really quickly in the future. I'd also like to thank the electrical superintendent again for the grant for the VSD, and I'm happy to announce that the American Public Power Association, through their Deed Research and Development Program, has 2 opportunities to supplement your workforce. Thanks to our affiliation with IMEA, your public power utility is a deed member utility and therefore eligible to sponsor an applicant for a line worker and technical education scholarship. Also, through your membership, your utility could receive funding for a student intern. The fall application cycle for each of these opportunities is now through October 15, 2025. The line worker and technical education scholarship provides $2,000 to support the education of students working toward line worker and other technical careers that are in high demand by electric utilities. Interested students must have your utility sponsor their scholarship application, then direct the applicant to the Deed Funding for Students webpage for directions on how to start the application process. Deed student internships are paid internships that provide work experience at your utility. If awarded, the scholarship affords $4,000 plus up to $1,000 in travel funds to attend an applicable conference. You can visit the Deeds Funding for Students webpage for more information. That's all I have.
Thank you. Number 12, Mayor's Report. I just want to say, with the clerk's office, it's probably, again, I've said this on other occasions, but the clerk role in Oglesby is probably one of the most challenging in the entire state. It's almost unfair just how much responsibility with the number of resources we have goes into that one role. So we have done an exhaustive search. I want to thank everybody that applied. There was a lot of great applicants out there. We did get a unanimous decision with our council. We're working on the ordinance details of everything yet, and we'll have that ready at the next council meeting for everybody. Along with the different emergency services that we've had, I'd like to thank not only the different departments, but in relation to that, Republic Services, right? So I know we've dealt with some challenges in the past until they were going through their union contract thing. I'd like to thank all the residents that called in anytime there's an issue. Same thing with there's an outage. That everybody's calm. They're trying to contact City Hall or emergency services so we can see if we can resolve the problem. While the issue happened with Republic Services, there wasn't too many things that didn't get resolved during the week. I won't say everything was resolved because there was some people that did have some heartache that didn't get their solutions. But I do like to thank the street department. They opened up another opportunity for the lawn bags in the meantime. So I appreciate it when the departments work together to see if there's a way that we can bridge the gap when we have some issues and stuff like that. So hopefully we will not have any problems going forward with public services. If there are, please let the clerk's office know and we can work through those issues. That is all I have. Number 13, executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS 120/2C1. Can I get a motion to go into executive session? Do we not want to go into executive session?
I don't know what we're going in for.
I don't either.
I feel unprepared.
Well, one is the
Event coordinator.
what's that?
The event coordinator?
The event coordinator thing for the, if we're gonna keep it in the same contract. That's one. And the second item was for the position of zoning administrator.
I move we enter executive session for the, per the aforementioned exemption.
Nobody else wants to talk about those items? Okay, not sure we're gonna do the ordinance then, but okay. All right. All right, no executive session. In that case, number 14, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Baldridge?
Aye.
Cullinan?
Aye.
McDermott?
Aye.
Moyle?
Aye.
Curran?
Aye. All right. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody. I don't know what to tell you then. I guess keep the same thing in there as was before, I guess.
For what? I'm completely lost on what we're talking about.
The event coordinator.